Hey friends, it's your pal SVH coming at you with today's Bowl of Saki by Hazrat Inayat Khan for September the 2nd. Self-pity is the cause of all of life's grievances. Self-pity is the cause of all life's grievances. And this is really true. This is really true because, you can get into a mindset where you start to look at one bad situation, right? And you start getting down on yourself. Oh man, I had a bad day at work, or, you really messed something up and you got reprimanded for it. Then you start to, get down on yourself, and start to feel like, it's you and I'm a failure, or all these kinds of things. Or you can look back at other areas of life where you've had a similar experience that triggered the same kind of feeling. So you end up getting into this mindset of self-pity. And self-pity, I look at it as I was saying, a spirit of self-pity. You get into the spirit of self-pity because it is almost like a spirit that overtakes you or that possesses you, because that one little thought, you have this whole broad scope of your life and all these amazing things going on and everything's really pumping along the way it should, but then something happens and you get that one thing that just ruins your day, and it really gets you in that negative mindset. And then what it does is it takes that wide scope of reality and it narrows things down to where all you see is that one problem, all you see is that one issue, and then you get so stuck in that your head doesn't see any farther beyond that. And that's when you start getting into this self-pity, this negative self-talk, and you start telling yourself, oh, I'm worthless, or I'm nobody, or I'm no good, or, I'm a failure, or I keep messing up, or, why does God keep punishing me like this? And you keep getting yourself stuck in this loop. And when you start getting that mental loop going on, your body gets into a physical loop as well, and your whole being, your whole life becomes stuck in this loop of negative self-talk. And it's a damaging thing. It's a very dangerous thing. So it's something you have to be really well aware of, And, Murshid talks about this. He talks about that, essentially the heart becomes wide when you forget the self, and it becomes narrow when you start to really focus on yourself and start pitying yourself and things like that. So if you want a wide scope of knowledge, a wide scope of understanding, you want a wider scope of consciousness, then these are things that you have to do. You have to work on that widening, and the way to widen it is to keep the heart open, to keep the heart in a place where you're receptive and really seeing things from the broader perspective, instead of seeing it from one little narrow viewpoint of one problem or one issue. And we get stuck in this so often. It's a hard thing to do. But there's another one. It might be tomorrow's or another day, and it's probably coming up because all of these kind of go in line, very similar from the days of the year. But I think there's another one where Murshid says self-pity is the worst poverty of man, or something of that nature. So to think of poverty, to think of like really being in a poor situation, right? That's you're there when you're in that self-pity state, because you're not opening yourself to the richness that is really part of your life. So just really important things to keep in mind every day as you kind of go through life. Try not to pity yourself. Yes, you can go through problems and you can go through issues, and it's okay to acknowledge, man, I'm having a hard day, or I'm having a real tough issue, or man, I screwed this up again, I should have learned that lesson the first time. But just learn from it, move on. Don't sit there and pity the fool, because then you just keep becoming the fool, and there's no reason for that. So I hope that lesson really helps for today. But yeah, it's a really good one. Self-pity is the cause of all life's grievances. So if you're feeling some of life's grievances today, my friend, take a look at yourself in the mirror and tell me how much you're pitying yourself today, and then just kind of reflect that back to yourself and say, you know what, I'm kind of being hard on myself. Let's rise out of this. Let's move on, and let's make life better. All right. So hope that helps you today. Have a blessed day. Make sure you go here to my YouTube page and like and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Putting up a lot more content and getting things rolling. So every time you hit that like and subscribe button, helps people to find the videos. If you like the Daily Bowl of Saki and some of these things that I'm spitting out here, then I would really appreciate and encourage you to share it with your friends. Send them over to the YouTube page, have them come to the Facebook page, Instagram, wherever you found this. Just shoot them over and say, hey man, there's this weird guy with crazy hair that gets on here and talks about all this cool spiritual stuff, and you might dig it. So check it out. I would appreciate it. It helps me out a lot, and just helps get the message out there. You know, I don't do this for myself. I do this for the message. I do this for you. So if you get something out of it, share it along with somebody else so they can get something out of it too. So that's all. Blessings. Have a good night.